lonely hatchling. The planet was quiet, too quiet. Red dust covered the ground, and broken stones lay everywhere like old bones. Tall rocks stood like guards, watching the empty land. No birds flew in the sky. No animals ran freely. Most worlds had life sounds. This one did not. Under a cracked stone nest, something small was hiding. It was a hatchling. The hatchling was young, no bigger than a human backpack. Its skin was smooth and dark, with faint glowing lines that moved slowly, like breathing light. Its eyes were large and golden, always looking around, always afraid. It was alone. The hatchling had hatched many days ago. It remembered warmth once. It remembered a deep voice, soft and strong. It remembered safety. But that was gone. Now, there was only cold stone and silence. Other young creatures lived on this planet, but they never came near the hatchling. When they saw it, they ran away. Some made warning sounds. Others hid behind rocks and watched with fear. The hatchling did not understand why. It only wanted to play. Sometimes it rolled small stones across the sand. Sometimes it chased its own shadow. Sometimes it made soft clicking sounds, hoping someone would answer. No one ever did. Each day, the hatchling grew more lonely. Far above the planet, a human research ship moved slowly through the sky. It was large, white, and full of lights. Humans had come to study this world, not to live on it. They believed it was dangerous. They were right. Inside the ship was a small human boy named Eli. Eli was 7 years old. He had messy brown hair and curious eyes. While the adults studied screens and talked in serious voices, Eli watched the planet below. "Why does it look so sad?" he asked. No one answered him. Later that day, the humans landed near a rock valley. Adults wore safety suits and carried tools. They warned Eli many times. "Do not go far. Do not touch anything. This planet is not safe." Eli nodded, but curiosity is stronger than fear in a child. While the adults worked, Eli wandered a little away. He kicked dust with his boots and looked at strange stones. Then he heard something, a sound, soft, slow, almost like crying. Eli stopped. The sound came again. He followed it. Behind a group of broken rocks, Eli saw the nest. And inside the nest, he saw the hatchling. The hatchling froze. Its eyes grew wide. Its body pulled back. Every creature it had ever seen ran away from it, or tried to hurt it. It expected the same. Eli stared. He had never seen anything like it before. The glowing lines, the big eyes, the way it shook slightly, trying to be brave. "Hi," Eli said quietly. The hatchling did not move. Eli slowly sat on the ground. He did not stand tall. He did not shout. He did not reach out. He waited. Minutes passed. The wind blew dust between them. The hatchling watched closely, ready to run. But Eli smiled. It was a small smile, a soft one. The hatchling felt something strange. No fear, no anger, just warmth. Eli picked up a small stone and rolled it gently across the ground. The stone stopped near the hatchling's claw. The hatchling looked at the stone, then at the boy. Then slowly, it pushed the stone back. Eli laughed. The sound was light and happy. The hatchling had never heard that sound before. They rolled the stone again and again. For the first time since it hatched, the lonely hatchling played with someone. Far away, deep underground, ancient sensors woke up. Energy levels changed. Signals moved through old systems. Something important had happened. The planet noticed. The stars noticed. And somewhere in the dark space beyond, something powerful turned its attention toward the small hatchling and the little human boy who was not afraid. The game had begun. The game that should not exist. The hatchling waited every day after that. It waited near the broken nest. It waited near the rocks. It waited where the dust was soft and warm. And every day, the little human boy came back. Eli came quietly, always when the adults were busy. He did not bring tools. He did not bring weapons. He brought only himself, and sometimes a small piece of food from the ship. The hatchling did not know what food was meant for it, but it liked the way Eli shared. The boy never took more. He always smiled and pushed the rest closer. They played. They played simple games. Eli drew lines in the dirt, and the hatchling copied them with its claw. Eli stacked stones, and the hatchling knocked them over. When Eli laughed, The hatchling made soft clicking sounds that slowly turned into happy chirps. The lonely hatchling was lonely no more, but the planet was watching. Each time the hatchling laughed, the glowing lines on its body became brighter. Each time it played, the ground under it shook just a little. Eli did not notice, but the planet did. Deep under the rocks, old machines woke up. They were not human machines. They were not new. They were ancient. Lights turned on after thousands of years. Silent systems began to read energy levels again. And the numbers were wrong. Very wrong. Far above, inside the human ship, alarms did not sound, but screens began to change. Data moved faster. Red warnings flashed for only a second before hiding again. Something was growing. Something powerful. The adults felt uneasy, but they did not know why. Eli felt nothing but happiness. One day, while they played, the hatchling did something new. It stood up fully. It was taller than Eli now. Its shadow covered him. The glowing lines on its body pulsed like a heartbeat. Eli did not step back. Instead, he clapped. The hatchling tilted its head, confused. Eli laughed again. "You're getting big," he said. The hatchling did not understand the words, but it understood the feeling. Pride. Far away, a long-range alien sensor locked onto the planet. A cold voice spoke across space. Confirmed. The hatchling is alive. Another voice replied, slower and darker. That species must not mature. Ships change course. Warning spread through alien space. The hatchling species had a name. It was spoken only in fear. They were born small. They were born gentle. But when they grew, they ended wars. That night, Eli stayed longer than usual. The sky turned dark red as the sun fell. The hatchling grew tired and rested near him. For the first time, it felt safe enough to sleep. Eli watched the glowing lines slowly dim. He did not see the shadows moving across the stars. When Eli finally left, the hatchling made a soft sound. A sad sound. Eli waved. "Tomorrow," he said. The hatchling watched him go, then looked up at the sky. Something inside it felt wrong. Its body reacted before its mind could stop it. A low sound came from deep in its chest. Not a cry, not a laugh. A signal. The ground vibrated. The ancient machines under the planet screamed to life. Across space, alarms exploded. "She has heard it," an alien commander whispered. "The mother knows." Massive shapes turned in the dark between stars. Something ancient was coming. Something that did not forgive. The next morning, Eli ran toward the nest with a smile. But the hatchling was not playing. It stood alert. Its eyes watched the sky. The glowing lines burned brighter than ever. Eli felt it then. Fear. "Hey, what's wrong?" he asked softly. The hatchling stepped closer to him and placed its head against his chest. The light faded a little. It did not want to be alone again. But the universe had already noticed the game that should not exist. And it was coming to end it. The warning no human was meant to hear. The warning came without sound. No explosion. No alarm. Just a sudden silence inside the human ship. Screens froze. Lights dimmed. Even the air felt heavy, like it was holding its breath. The adults noticed it right away. "This is not normal," one of them said. Before anyone could react, a new signal appeared on the main screen. It was not human. The symbols were sharp and cold, written in a language older than most stars. Then the message translated itself. "Leave the planet. The hatchling must not survive." Fear filled the room. "That's impossible," someone whispered. "We never told anyone." Another human shook his head slowly. "This species is known. If the hatchling grows, entire systems will burn." They did not know that Eli was standing near the door. He heard everything. His hand shook. His heart beat fast. The words stayed in his mind like fire. The hatchling must not survive. Eli did not understand war systems, but he understood one thing very clearly. They were talking about his friend. The adults argued. "We can still leave," one said. "If we stay, we die," another replied. "And if we destroy it?" a third asked quietly. No one answered. The silence was worse than shouting. Outside, the hatchling felt it. The air changed. The ground felt wrong. Its body grew tense, and the glowing lines burned bright again. Ancient instincts woke up. Danger was coming. That night, Eli could not sleep. The ship hummed softly around him, but his mind was loud. He thought about the games, the laughter, the way the hatchling leaned close when it felt afraid. Eli made a choice. He left his room. Barefoot, silent, he slipped past sleeping adults and opened doors. He took nothing with him. Not food, not tools, only courage. The night outside was cold and red. Wind moved across the rocks like whispers. Eli ran toward the nest, his chest burning. The hatchling saw him first. It stood up fast, eyes wide. Fear and relief mixed together. Eli reached it and hugged its warm body. "They want to hurt you," Eli whispered. The hatchling did not know the words, but it knew the truth. It had felt the signal. It had felt the universe turn against it. The hatchling made a deep sound. Low, powerful, wrong. Eli felt the ground shake. Lights burst from under the rocks. The ancient machines fully woke. Energy rushed through the planet like blood through a heart. Far away, beyond human space, something answered. A massive presence shifted. A mother. Ships appeared in the sky the next morning. Not human ships. Alien war vessels surrounded the planet, black and sharp like claws. Weapons pointed down. Human adults froze in fear. A voice echoed across the land, cold and final. "Step away from the hatchling." Eli stood in front of it. He was small. He was shaking, but he did not move. The hatchling lowered its head and touched Eli's back gently. It chose him. The alien voice returned, louder now. "This creature will end worlds." Eli shouted back with tears in his eyes. "It just wants to play." For the first time in a very long time, the alien ships did not fire. They hesitated, because something impossible was happening. The hatchling was not growing angry. It was protecting a human child. Deep in space, the mother felt the bond. Not fear, not hate, love. And she turned toward the planet at full speed. The galaxy held its breath, because when the mother arrived, everything would change. When the galaxy spoke in fear, the war did not happen. That alone shocked the galaxy. Alien fleets pulled back. Human ships stayed frozen in place, afraid to move. The massive mother hovered above the planet like a living shield, her shadow covering land and sky. Silence followed. Not peace, not safety, judgment. Across distant stars, ancient councils woke from long sleep. Messages traveled faster than fear. One truth reached every corner of space. A human child had tamed a world-ending species. Many did not believe it. Others were afraid. In a dark chamber far away, alien leaders argued. "Humans are weak," one said. "They have no claws, no natural armor." Another replied quietly. Yet the child stood where armies failed. Screens showed the image again and again. Eli standing in front of the hatchling, the mother watching. No weapons, no armor, only trust. Back on the planet, the humans waited. They expected punishment, destruction, death. Instead, the mother descended slowly. Her massive body settled near the valley, careful not to crush the land. The ground shook, but nothing broke. She looked at the humans, not as enemies, as questions. Eli stepped forward again. The adults tried to stop him, but the mother lifted one claw. "Let him come." Eli walked until he stood beneath her shadow. His heart raced, but he did not stop. He remembered the games, the laughter, the warmth. "You're not bad," Eli said softly. "You just wanted your child safe." The mother listened. Her kind did not often listen to words. They listened to truth. She turned her gaze toward the human leaders. Her voice entered their minds, heavy and clear. "Your species fears what it does not understand," she said. "But you protect what you love." The galaxy watched in silence. "You could have killed my child," she continued. "You did not. That mattered." The mother made her choice. "This world will stand," she declared, "and humans will walk it freely." Shock rippled across space. Alien leaders panicked. If humans learn to bond with them, one whispered, they will change everything. They were right. Back on the planet, the hatchling played again. It rolled a stone toward Eli just like before. Eli laughed, and the sound carried across the valley. The mother watched. Her child was growing stronger, but not cruel. That scared the galaxy more than any weapon. Days passed. Humans were allowed to stay. Not as rulers, not as conquerors, As friends, alien observers arrived, careful and quiet. They studied humans from afar. They expected lies, greed, fear. They saw something else. Humans shared food. Humans protected the weak. Humans stayed close to those who were afraid. They did not dominate. They connected. The councils met again. One final message was sent across the stars. Humans are not harmless. They're dangerous in a new way. Eli sat beside the hatchling as the sun set. The glowing lines on its body pulsed softly. It leaned against him, heavy and warm. Eli smiled. Neither of them knew it yet. But history had changed. Not with fire, not with war, but with a game played in the dust by a lonely hatchling and a little human boy who chose kindness. And the galaxy would never sleep the same again. When the child began to grow, time did not stop. The galaxy moved forward, but it moved carefully now. The hatchling was no longer small. Months passed and it grew fast. Its body became strong. Its glowing lines turned deep and steady, like living stars under dark skin. Each step it took left marks in the ground. Alien watchers sent reports every day. It is growing. It is stable. It is calm. That word confused them the most. Creatures of that species were never calm. The mother stayed close, watching everything. She did not sleep much. She remembered old wars. She remembered how her kind destroyed worlds by accident. She would not let that happen again. Because of the human. Eli was growing too. He was taller now, stronger, still curious, still brave in quiet ways. He played fewer games, but he stayed close. When the hatchling rested, Eli sat beside it and talked, even when it did not understand the words. The bond did not fade. It deepened. Then the test came. A distant system sent a distress call. Pirates had attacked a trade world. Alien defenses failed. Millions were at risk. The councils hesitated. If they asked the mother for help, they would admit the truth, that they needed humans, that they needed the bond. The message was sent. The mother listened. She looked at her child. The grown hatchling stepped forward. Not angry, not excited. Ready. The mother allowed it. For the first time in history, one of her kind left home, not to destroy, but to protect. Humans watched as the creature moved through space, guided by human ships. The galaxy held its breath. The pirates did not. They laughed when they saw it. Then the creature shielded the planet with its body. Weapons bounced away like dust. No cities burned. No ships were crushed. The pirates fled in fear. The world was saved. The message spread like fire. The destroyers had become guardians, and humans were the reason. But not everyone accepted this. In the dark edges of space, fear grew into hate. A secret group formed. They believed humans were too dangerous. They change everything they touch, they said. That must be stopped. Plans were made. Weapons were built. And Eli was named a target. Back on the planet, the hatchling felt something wrong. The glowing lines flared once, sharp and sudden. Eli looked up. What is it? He asked. The creature placed itself between Eli and the stars. It had learned something new. Fear for someone else. The galaxy had entered a new age. One of peace. One of danger. And the greatest test was still coming. The game that saved the stars. The attack did not come with warning. No alarms. No messages. Just darkness. The secret group moved fast. Their ships slipped through space unseen. Their target was not the planet. It was the boy. Eli was older now. No longer a child, but not yet a man. He stood outside the human settlement, watching the sky the way he always had. He felt it first. A wrong feeling. The hatchling, now a massive guardian, felt it too. It moved instantly. Ships dropped from nowhere, weapons glowing bright. Humans ran in fear. Soldiers shouted. The air filled with chaos. Take the human, a cold voice ordered. Eli did not run. He looked up at the guardian and smiled, just like he did long ago. It's okay, he said. We're together. The attackers fired. The guardian stepped in front of him. Energy slammed into its body. The ground broke. The sky burned. The guardian roared, not in anger, but in warning. The mother arrived moments later, tearing space apart with her presence. Her rage shook stars, but the guardian was already moving. It did not attack the enemy ships. It shielded the humans. That choice stunned everyone. Weapons fell silent. The attackers realized too late what they had done. They had proven the galaxy wrong. They had proven humans right. The Guardian turned and faced the enemy fleet. This ends now. Its voice echoed, learned from humans, shaped by love. The enemy fled. Silence returned. Eli stood beneath the Guardian and placed his hand against its glowing skin. The same game. The same trust. Across the galaxy, the story spread. Not of war, not of power, but of a human who chose kindness first, and a creature that learned to protect because of it. Years later, children of many species played together on that planet. They rolled stones in the dust. They laughed under safe skies, and the Guardian watched. The galaxy learned one final truth. Humans do not conquer worlds. They change hearts, and sometimes that is far more powerful